Hello everyone. Oh my gosh. Hello everyone, the Honest Collector here to give you the truth on the Marvel Legends Legacy Collection Deadpool figure from the Deadpool movie. So this says Deadpool, it doesn't say Deadpool 2. And a lot of the art, or not artwork, but a lot of the images are from the first movie. Kind of like, posters or just, things that they put out. Like this is from the first one, all that stuff. But it's technically Deadpool 2 with the silver that I have on some of the hands, but then on some of the hands they don't have the silver, but I'll get on that later. So let's take a look at the box, because this is actually some of like my favorite. Like I love this. This gives off a very sleek look. It's very slim and compact, and it looks really good. Got Deadpool Legacy Collection. Got some blood splats and everything. This is really crazy for a kid's toy. Well, actually, it does say ages 14. And then in the actual package, he has some guns on the side of him. And then on the side, you got some drawings of Deadpool here, and the same thing here. Got him holding up hearts, and you have more hearts at the top. And then you have him laying, just looking, waiting for you to buy him. And a spot varnish Deadpool image here, and then the same thing on top. And that's really it. Barcode at the bottom. And that's it. Marvel Legends series at the top. So this box I love, and it's actually really cool. So yeah. So taking a look at this Deadpool figure, I don't have the original one that came in that 2-pack with Negasonic Teenage Warhead. There's a bit of a scuff on him right here, but there we go. So yeah, this it looks to be a little more glossy from that first one. It's not as matted, which I'm probably gonna fix. I'm probably gonna customize it and stuff. But yeah, so this still looks really good. It's a rehash of the one that came in that 2-pack. It's basically the same, just some small updated things about it. And for the people that missed out on that, like me, now it's here, and it looks really, really good. You got all this texturing that is just great. You got so many details, like on the mask there. This really does look like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. Got that little notch on the back, which I love. I prefer when he has that there in comics and in movies and stuff. Got the sheaths here, got that strap, which I really like that they added in these movies. And that's all one piece, as you can see, that's just kind of floating around, so you can move it and adjust it when you're twisting the waist. And yeah, this looks really good. Got some silver paint there. These things, really cool to see that they were here. I know these are those little knife things that he used in that car fight, but they're also here as well, which I think is really, really cool. Such a cool way to incorporate weapons in his design. I think it's really cool. And speaking of that, we go down to the legs. You see this, which is the knife actually is inside here, baby knife there, and that looks really, really great. There is no strap up here to hide that thigh swivel, unlike the Deadpool and Wolverine one, which I don't have yet, but I will be getting soon. And yeah, this just looks really great. The shoulders, the butterfly joints are incorporated nicely. The proportions look good. They did a really good job making this guy look like he is a stock, or not like super stocky, but it is definitely a superhero. It's not a guy just cosplaying and, whatever like that. It looks really, really great. The guns are in the side. You can see here. The only problem I have is they fall out very easily. Not this one, but that it is pretty easy to get out. And then this one just flies off any chance it gets. And I think the biggest issue is that there's so much stuff on him that look, you gotta bend the guns. This goes up, so a lot of things run into each other. But that is part of the design. There's definitely ways to move around that to still pose this guy around and make him look really badass. And it's good that this thing gets out of the way literally anytime you need it to, even when you're crunching him. You're not going to have to worry about that, like folding too much or breaking or whatever. When you bend them back, the only thing you're going to have to worry about is these sheaths. Oh, you can't do that because then it bends the swords. But yeah, so just be careful on that when you move him back. But I haven't really had to move him back that much when like posing and stuff like that. So overall, this design, the way it is, it's really, really good. This just looks great, and I absolutely love the way it looks in a lot of poses. This thing just looks awesome. You got all the straps and buckles and everything. Some of them are painted, some of them aren't. But this just looks really damn good, and they killed it with this guy. The boots look really good. I love the way they designed this in the movie, and I love how they translated all of that design into here. As you can see, all of the nicks and gashes and kind of cuts that are on here. It just looks very realistic and lived in. And I'm not a fan that people are saying that the darker red looks more realistic. I think it's just the way Hasbro is doing the red in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. That's what makes it look so cartoony, because the Marvel Select one did a brighter red, ZD Toys did a brighter red, and I hate ZD Toys. They did a brighter red and they still look really good. SH Figure Arts, I don't know how that one's going to be, but they're doing a brighter red. I think it's just the bright red that Hasbro does, because bright red is a weakness for Hasbro because they don't try on some of those figures, and it just doesn't look right. It's like you can't just slap a bright red and not have any color that's kind of bringing it down to balance out. It's just super bright, like McDonald's toy cartoon red. So that's the problem with it. It's not really just the fact that, oh, it's a bright red, so it equals bad. I really don't like that people are now jumping on that train, because that's exactly why we couldn't get superhero suits that look like this in the first place, and it was really annoying. But we're breaking out of this here, and I hope that people just don't continue to think that, oh, brighter equals, you know, more dumb looking or whatever. It's a dumb idea to me. But back to this figure. This still looks really good. I'm probably still going to add a small wash. Probably not black, but maybe more dark red, or maybe to kind of go in between here. It might be black because I don't want to darken the red. Just want to give it some pop, some more detail, let all that sculpted texture shine. But it is really, really good. And I love that they did very nicely. That belt piece, that it actually looks a lot cleaner than the first one I've seen on people's first copy. So yeah, pretty good on the design, pretty awesome. Some people are saying the proportions look a little lanky, which at first I thought of, but I think it actually looks pretty good, and it doesn't look too janky or whatever. They did a really good job on this. All right, so taking a look at the accessories here, gosh, does he come with a lot. We have the two katanas, which are painted very, very nicely. I'll zoom in these for you. So this looks really great. The paint is really good, just solid black here, but it still looks really nice. They are very, very thin though, so do be careful with those, but these look really, really good. Then we have the baby knife, which is also very good. The paint is really nice on this thing. And then we have two punching hands, which this is what I was talking about. Notice how some of these hands, these ones, let me zoom out. These ones, black, silver, silver, also black. Doesn't make sense. It's supposed to be Deadpool 1, kind of Deadpool 2, since it's the same suit, but there's some differences. It's weird. I think they all should have been silver. That would have been great. But nonetheless, we still have these two punching hands here. And we this is back when Hasbro actually gave us pair of accessories. So then we have the two gripping hands for the swords, or something else. And then we have the two trigger hands for the guns that he comes with. And then we have the two expression hands, which I can't explain enough how much I love that he came with these hands. This is such an important thing for Deadpool. This is like wall crawling hands for Spider-Man. This is just so important, like, for Deadpool. It just adds so much emotion and so much more play that it is such a good thing that these hands were included. So many more things that you're able to do. Then you have the two standard pistols here. I don't know what type these are, so I'm not even gonna say it. But all you need to know: two guns, two pistols. They look very good. They are a rubber, spongy plastic, so that way they're not too solid, don't break, and don't, you know, just kind of snap or whatever. And it's easier to get in the hand, which I really appreciate. A lot of people don't like that. I just don't think they understand. And yeah, the only gripe about the design, like not the design, but the look of the figure, is that gloss. It's definitely there. You could definitely tell there. It's pretty reflective. Not taking too much off of it though, just something I noticed and I should mention. But really good on the accessories. Oh, wait a minute. He comes with a unicorn. How could I forget? It's actually painted on the eyes and that gold horn, which actually looks really good. Yeah, so the rest is just sculpted. He comes with this unicorn, and yes, he does use this in a movie scene. Anyway, so yeah, pretty good accessory. I love that it came with this. The implication is crazy, but gosh, is it hilarious. I'm so happy that like this came with it. That is so funny. But yeah, really good accessory. Probably my favorite. It's really damn funny. But yeah, really good on the accessories. They did great with this. All right, so I did remove, oh my gosh, he doesn't have any hands. All right, so I did remove the guns and these swords. So this is how the articulation is gonna be for this figure. He has a dumbbell joint at the head and a ball at the neck here, so he can look up a little bit. I don't know how they failed this. He looks up that much, which isn't bad, but like, dude, what does the neck do? The neck barely does anything. He can turn side to side, like he can swivel, not swivel, tilt. That's what I meant. Look, that neck just goes right back in place. I don't really know what it was for. It's like they cut out the piece of articulation, but couldn't get it enough to actually have it be put to good use. But this thing hides it pretty well, so you don't really see it, which is great, thankfully. And then moving on to the arms, he has these really good butterfly joints. I'm going to show it on this one since the strap is on the other one. But he has these really good butterfly joints which get the arms that far across, which is really good. And then back is also great and gets them all the way there. No hindering of anything to make that not go back and forth. So then with the arms moving up, I would expect them to go higher than 90, which they kind of do, but just barely. But it's enough, but it definitely should go higher. And then you have the bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, but not pinless knees, doesn't make sense. Double jointed elbows work great. Then you have the standard Hasbro hinge that go back and forth and swivel. Then with the torso, like I said, be careful with these sheaths here. These bend back. You really could, but I don't recommend it. It's definitely gonna warp these out over time. And then bending or crunching forward, great, and nothing's hindering it there. So then for the hips, you can move this belt piece up and put the hips out like that. Just make sure the guns aren't here. Or we're gonna test that out actually. I think they could be. It won't really do any harm. That could go in, there we go. Belt piece moves up. Yeah, so it's just gonna bend the guns a small bit, but I think that's why they're such a rubber plastic, which is great. I'm really happy Hasbro did that. And then, I forgot, waist swivel is a waist swivel. As you can see, nothing is getting hindered. Nothing is hindering that articulation. You have an upper thigh cut there. Leg kicks forward this much, which is great. And then it actually kicks back a decent amount, which is weird. Hasbro doesn't do that anymore. And then, I'm blanking out. It's pretty late. Double jointed knees work good, but it's kind of some flimsy plastic it's feeling like there, but they move up good. And then there's no boot swivel, unfortunately, but they could have implemented it like right here. That would have been great. But ankle moves up this far up, which is really good, and that far down. The new one, I don't know if it's actually the same. I think it's different. It might be a little less. I might stop right there, which kind of sucks, but here you're able to move it all the way up, move it all the way down. You have that ankle pivot, which goes wherever way you want. And yeah, pretty standard, but effective articulation. Here Deadpool stands next to the Mafex number 195 Spider-Man and the Mafex Wolverine. Here he stands next to a 5-inch Sonic 3 Sonic figure. Here's how he stands next to that new Into the Spider-Verse Peter Parker figure. Here's how he stands next to the Heat Claws Wolverine, which is basically the same body buck as majority of the other Wolverines, including the X-Men 97 one and that new brown suit one that's coming out. Here's how he stands next to the Infinity Saga Mark III Iron Man. Here's how he stands next to the 20th anniversary of Marvel Legends Toy Biz inspired Hulk and an MCU Spider-Man. And here he stands next to the one that I'm officially naming Spider-Bum. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on this figure? This is great. If you don't have the original release, then get this. If you do, you really don't need this. Unless you really want that unicorn, which I understand. But this guy is awesome. As a regular release, just by itself, if you don't have it, I definitely recommend getting this guy. He is extremely fun to pose around, and I just disassembled him from the base. We're going to try and put him back on while I talk about how good this thing is. So, this figure, very happy with. Definitely satisfied. It's super fun to pose around or just kind of create like posing scenarios. And yeah, this thing is really good, especially for like just, it passes the mark for like stop motion and stuff like that. This definitely is a good pickup here, and I do recommend it if you are looking for a Deadpool figure and one that isn't, that $80 comic one, but you also don't want that same Sunfire body mold Deadpool. This is definitely a fun one to pick up, and it is worth it. It's good. The accessories are great. The only thing are these hands, these specific gripping hands. They don't have that vertical hinge that has them move up and down like that, which really sucks for sword holding hands, because if you know, that's how you swing a sword, like that. And this Deadpool can't do that. So that does really suck. That is unfortunate. I think that's my biggest gripe, that and the fact that there's no Ryan Reynolds head sculpt, which we need one. We need a Deadpool Ryan Reynolds head sculpt, and we haven't gotten that. I'm assuming it's most likely because Ryan Reynolds hasn't signed a likeness thing. So that's probably why, but man, we gotta have it happen. Are they going to re-release or probably do one in the future? Most likely, but it would have been really great to get it here. So I want to give this figure, uh, there's things drawing it back, like the hands and without a head sculpt. But gosh, I want to give this thing a 9 so badly because it's just really fun. Like, it's not perfect. It just definitely passes on the fun factor. It looks good, it articulates well, the hands are great, the accessories it comes with, I mean, the swords, the guns, the knife, the unicorn, the hands, and it's pretty damn good. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 9. Hasbro did a good job on this when they made it. It's a re-release now, so probably, doesn't mean as much, but if you're just getting this, no matter what, this figure is a 9 out of 10 to me. This swipe effect did not come from this figure at all. It's from the Leonardo IDW figure from the Loyal Subjects line. But yeah, this figure is great. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Just hitting that 9 out of 10 mark. But that's going to be it. So if you've enjoyed, please give this video a like and subscribe if you're new, and turn on notifications on so you know when I can give you the truth on the next figure. Thank you guys so much for watching. Spread peace, love, and be greater together. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.